All right, guys, let's get started. This is the inaugural podcast of the Full Power Training Group. I would like to introduce you people to two of the guys that I've been training with now for years. And me and these guys have been doing the sport of IGP together. I don't really know why, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
Why we're all training together. It just kind of organically happened. I don't even remember when it happened. I don't remember how it happened, but...
I think I was looking for somebody to train with.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah, and I reached out to you.
Was it you?
Yeah, I reached out to you and I said, hey, you going to start a small training group? Because I didn't want to sit around all day.
Oh, yeah, we met at a club.
Yeah.
We met in a dog club, so we were in a dog club. And it was a nice club.
Yeah, they were really nice. They're good
nice people. I like them.
Confident people.
Well.
Yeah, really good people.
But the club life just didn't really suit me, and I don't think it really suited Paul.
No, it doesn't. I stomach it sometimes because I have to with locally.
Yeah.
But these people, again, the group I train with is super nice people.
So I guess we didn't actually introduce anyone.
Yeah.
So guys, as you should maybe you don't know, my name is Hass. I'm the king of Shield K9. This is Paul Perello.
Hello. I don't know where to look.
You can look wherever you want, Paul. It's catching you on every angle, buddy.
It's got all
we'll
the
make sure we use,
all them head angles.
We'll make sure we use the good angles.
Okay, good. I don't think I have one.
Make you look like you're 62 again.
Yeah. I'm a youngin'. Go ahead.
Carson here. I've been training with these guys for a little while now in the club. And
The training group.
training group, not a club.
Is that how you would talk like normally if you were talking to somebody?
I think so. I don't know.
You wouldn't be like, Carson here.
Listen,
I can. You just talk.
Hello.
You're like talking.
Okay, let's talk.
All right. So now you should go find...
Carson's not here. Yeah.
You're not making like an announcement to him.
All right.
So now you guys know like how the training goes, pretty much. But it's pretty much how it goes. Just a lot of criticism and negative comments. Somehow we just get where we're going.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Anyways, so yeah, me and Paul, we met at a Schutzen club.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been a member of Schutzen clubs, believe it or not, a time or two. So is Paul.
Yep.
When did you start doing Schutzen?
Me? 1980.
Before I was born.
Before back in the olden days.
And that's right.
Yeah, 1980. I started. I can do a real brief how I ended up doing shits, and it's pretty clear.
Keep it brief, Paul.
Both sides.
No, that's in fucking low.
Okay, like Carson. Both our neighbors when I was growing up had German Shepherds. The one gentleman was from Germany and brought one over. They were really cool dogs. So when it was time to get a dog, I said, I'm getting a German Shepherd. And they offered free protection training. So let's go. And quickly found out that was just all marketing bullshit. And the breeder, referred me to two clubs in Buffalo. And said she recommended I go to one specifically. And that's the one I trained with for a long time. That was the only club until I came in.
So the breeder offered you free protection training,
Yeah.
but then it didn't work out, and they sent you.
Well, the dog did bite,
yeah.
bit really well, actually. But they didn't have the ability to really complete anything.
Okay.
And free.
And
And
then-
they expect.
It's free. I mean, the idea, they couldn't, even if it wasn't free.
Oh, okay.
There was nothing going on beyond that. She was just breeding. That was it.
Okay. So then you ended up at the Buffalo Schutzen Club?
No, I ended up at the Frontier Schützen Club, which is now defunct.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't
Like many things from the 1980s.
Yes. I'm still one of the only things standing.
Cool. But then you got out of the sport?
Life changes. I was traveling a lot for work, and I just didn't have time, so I left. And so I think the last time I did anything was probably around 97.
97.
And I did all helper work back then. I really didn't, only titled one dog, so.
Okay.
But I was
What did you title him to?
just one.
Just a one.
He was really,
Nasty dog.
he was really nasty.
There were a lot of those back.
He wanted to kill people
Yeah.
rather than look at them. So yeah, but I did nationals,
Yeah.
did regionals, multiple club trials
As a helper.
as a helper.
Okay.
That's what I love doing. That's what I miss the most, being older now.
It's all right.
What about you, Carson?
What about me?
Wait. Just so people know, you didn't keep training. Like you were off for like 20 years.
Yes.
And then you got back in the sport kind of when I met you, I think.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Like you were back in the sport. When did we meet? Like,
Well, I saw a memory from, like, said 7 years ago, pushing 8 years ago now. So we must have met like a 10 years ago, close.
damn.
I know, it's crazy.
You don't look any different. At least I don't think you do.
My bones tell me different.
All right. Okay. Carson, would you like to join the group?
Yeah, been training with you guys for what, 4 years now? 5 years?
I think it's
Is it 5?
Schutzen, 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, IGP.
yeah.
Yeah, I had one dog that didn't work out with me. We sold that to the police. Then we got was it Vasco after
Vasco.
that? Yeah. So we got Vasco. I think a lot of people know Vasco. He's same old. He's retired now, but still grumpy, very grumpy. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun training, and got a Schutzen 2 on him at regionals this year. And recently just got a new dog, so we're gonna play around with that dog.
Yeah, Vasco, for those of you guys that don't know, he's all over our channel. Super interesting dog to train because he's like very intense, very intense about just about anything he does.
Yeah.
But he's also a dog that has a bit of a past, and he's messed up a few handlers.
Yeah, there's some good stories about him.
Really good stories.
A lot more people know him than they know me, obviously. But yeah, he's definitely a famous dog in Canada, and not necessarily a good way. not a good thing, I don't think. But.
Well, it's funny because I remember after, so Carson had a puppy from me, and the puppy, like we were training the puppy up until, I don't know, maybe a year.
I think it was 10 months.
10 months. And we were just like, yeah, it's like you could do the sport, but it wasn't enough for us.
Yeah.
So, I ended up contacting Mike and my buddy Mike, and he ended up placing that dog with the Niagara Police.
Yep.
And, they're happy with him. They're doing stuff with him.
Yep.
And I think his name's Rudy now.
He just saved the day the other day.
Yeah.
Found an old lady in a creek or a ditch or something like that got lost.
That was an Onyx son.
Yeah, it looked just like him.
Yeah, very
by color, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, so then ended up moving that dog along. And then Carson was, he was like, look, man, I really want I want a real one.
Motherfucker.
That's a good word. That's the word, right?
Yep.
And then some of our friends, in parts unknown, we shall not say where it came from, but they contacted us. They said, listen, we got a dog. If you don't take him, he's getting the blue juice.
Yeah.
And that's because he had, I think he'd messed up one too many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we said, all right, we'll take a look-see.
Yeah.
And we saw him, and we were like, God damn, he's actually really, really impressive in the protection work. You could see he had crazy ball drive, crazy food drive.
Yeah.
He was just a little bit nasty. Well, not a little bit. He was a lot nasty with the handler.
Yeah.
And he was really bad with pressure. Like, the reality is, if you're going to train that type of dog to do anything, especially IGP, where there's so much control work
Yeah.
and control under competing motivation, right? Like, he wants to go bite the helper, but he must heel with the handler, these kinds of things. He must out the sleeve when he's told to out the sleeve, all this type of stuff. With a dog like that has a one-track mind, you must make pressure to, there must be motivation, but there also must be pressure in the training process. And the problem with a dog like him is when you make the pressure in the training process, he's coming up the leash
Yeah.
unless you do it in a very smart way.
Yeah. He's the type of dog where, you yell at him, you try to correct him, even if it's a fair correction, he's so dominant that he just doesn't allow it and comes after you, and still is like that. But we built so much of a relationship and kind of respect that he
You use love, right?
there's a line. Yeah. There's lots of that, and there's lots of other stuff that are involved, obviously, like anything. But he loves me for sure.
Yeah, I think as much as a dog is capable of as much as that dog is capable of love, he does, and that's the thing. Like, people tend to view these dogs as, oh, well, if he loved you, he would never. And it's like, you don't know people that, you don't know human beings that love other human beings but still do terrible things to them.
Yeah.
Whether it's abusive parent with its child, or even children abusing their parents, or friends abusing their friends. It's like verbal abuse, physical abuse, and that's with people. We're beings of higher cognition, and then you compare it with these animals, and they are animals, and they're very instinct driven, and we breed them a certain way, and it's like anything. When you breed these dogs to have certain traits that make them good in the work, whether it's drive, dominance, aggression, courage, all these things. Sometimes that medley comes together in a very productive combination, and sometimes it comes together in an extreme way that can be very unproductive or very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing when you're dealing with it. And I think Vasco is a wonderful example of that. Like, we wouldn't call him a stable dog.
No.
But he's a dog that exhibits certain traits, whether it's drive and dominance, as well as nerve, in a very extreme way.
Well, within my 5 years of doing Schutzen, you always hear this mythical creature of my friend's cousin's dog is, the badass dog. It's like, I'll tell you what, and I always say this to even people that don't understand what I'm talking about. Like, this dog, there's probably 2 dogs, all these dogs that I've seen in 5 years or so. He's a dominant creature. He is, big heart in him. Like, he's a fighter. You try to come in my backyard and, most people maybe push the dog out of the way and come in the backyard or something. Like, there's no way you're doing this to that dog. Even sometimes with me, I got to be smart in my own backyard. And like I said.
Did you say you might not be able to get in your...
Yes, I can. Yes, for sure. Yeah, and the other dog that I'm talking about as well, I said 2 dogs is danger. So I heard.
Oh, you mean this guy?
I heard your other podcast. You're talking about him, the guy that got 20 stitches is me. So, 2 dominant dogs that most dominant dogs I've ever seen. It's going to be Vasco and Danger.
Vasco is certainly more dangerous than Danger.
Yeah,
I think he was.
Yeah.
Luckily, we knew what we were doing by the time we got him.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. Vasco, Danger gave you 20 stitches, so Vasco 0, hopefully, so far.
Yeah.
No, but I've seen him come up.
Oh, he's tried.
I've watched you handle him, and I thought,
well, example,
awesome job.
The other day, I'm grabbing chairs in the backyard because someone is picking up their chairs and whatnot. So I'm grabbing these folding chairs from the backyard, and he's in the backyard. Comes in the house, goes to his bed. I said, no, like, go back outside. I got to answer the door. I don't want you in the house, blah, 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 blah. He sits there. I've got these 2 chairs in my hand. So I'm like, I'm going to, push you off the bed kind of thing and get you back outside in a calm manner. I'm attacking my chairs. I said, all right. I'm gonna go answer this door and I'll do it. Anyhow, he went outside and nobody got bit, and it's just little.
It all ended well.
One day he's good, another day he will kill you and probably your kids.
Yeah, he's a moody freaking. Yeah, he is. Sometimes he comes out and he's just working like a top, and sometimes he comes out and everything's a fight.
It's World War II.
Yeah,
and it's like
I've seen a lot of the World War II.
But you know what? A dog like that. Like, we made an IGP2 with him, which, might not seem like,
took 5 years to do that.
It took years to do it, and we learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot, working with him. Like, I've dealt with some nasty dogs before.
Yeah.
I got to say, like, there's one thing to deal with a dog, and then there's another thing to say, okay, I'm going to take this really nasty, unpredictable, highly driven, nervy, dominant dog, and we're going to say, all right, we're going to make an IGP title with this dog. That means he's got to track. He's got to do obedience, which involves multiple exercises. He's got to do protection. He's got to do 3 phases.
I'll tell you what, I love protection, but when Haz would tell me to come and get my dog for protection, I'm like, oh, fuck. This ain't fun anymore, you know? I already know what's going to happen, and Haz is yelling at me, and I'm fucking trying to correct the dog, and he's coming up after me, and Haz is mad at whatever I did. Basco's mad. I'm fucking pissed off now, too. And just a shit show.
I get mad because, like, for me, and that's something I got to work on, when I'm training with these guys, like, number one, they ain't clients, so I don't have to be nice to them. Wait, I don't think I'm very nice to my clients either when I train with them. It's not a meanness thing. It's more of a, like, it's a frustration thing because I see something that I want to do, but I can't do it. I can't do it because I'm not there. But I'm like, do it. Because it's like in that moment, like when you're training dogs like this, there's a split second that you have to do something, whether it's make pressure, make a reward, release pressure.
The devil on my shoulder telling me I suck. And then Carson's angel.
I'm positive.
This is good. It looks great. Now it's
Keep it up, guys. Keep it up. Remember what I said? Productive versus unproductive?
I'm pretty productive, I think.
But anyways, you know what? You made an IGP2.
Yeah.
that was
dog. So congratulations.
I was really impressed with that.
That is a sometimes the title isn't that much of an accomplishment. I mean, every title is an accomplishment because there's a ton of work that goes into an IGP2 with any dog. But with Vasco, it was a Herculean effort to make that IGP2.
Yes.
And this is again, like, this isn't training once a week. Like, this is me training, twice a day. And the worst part is like, this dog, I can't just put him in a kennel.
No.
Like, this dog in the kennel is like, oh my God.
He gets worse in there.
I got a handful of videos of this dog just wanting to murder everybody, looks at me and wants to murder me. So I have to have him in a crate, and he's like calm, he's stable in the crate. I got to let him out. Obviously, I'd say 1 week a month, he's an absolute nightmare. But, once you have him in the crate, he's a completely different dog. The problem is you have to have him in the crate.
We interrupt this program to bring you this message. Guys, I would like to quickly mention our elite family protection dogs. As you guys may or may not know, well, who am I kidding? Of course you guys know, we sell top tier elite protection dogs. We sell dogs that come from our breeding program, dogs that are imported from Europe. If you are looking for an elite dog, a dog of exceptional quality and training, look no further than ShieldCanineDogs.com. We've got the dog for you.
He's a great video dog.
Yeah.
Like, everybody loves watching Val growling. And the other funny story was when we were in Quebec and ready for nationals. We were taking him out of the trailer or whatnot. Haz is playing with his GoPro or watching me or whatever he was doing. And we had a bark collar on him because we were staying at a hotel. So I was taking him out of the crate, or dog box, told him to sit. I'm kind of like, turning around, doing whatever I'm doing. And then this bark collar goes off because of the fur saver. It moved the bark collar and it made like this weird noise on the bark collar. So I thought it was like a vibration bark thing. Gave him a correction. Boom. This dog freaking comes after me. I'm fighting with him in the middle of this hotel parking lot. Haz is like, oh my God. I should have had that on video.
I wasn't concerned for Carson at all. I was like, God damn it. I just turned the GoPro off.
Well, you're like, watch out. Oh, shit.
You know why I said watch out? Because I was literally looking at him.
Yeah.
Carson pulls him out of the trailer.
I'm not paying attention, really.
Carson pulls him out of the trailer and clips his leash to the fur saver. And I saw his neck twitch. It wasn't like it wasn't a huge correction. It was just a little twitch. I just saw the neck twitch. He looked at Carson and just went, ah, and I was like, at that moment, right when the neck twitched, and I saw him looking at him, I was like, watch out.
I'm like, he's like 10 inches from my face.
Yeah, and he's like,
so,
and Carson was like,
yeah. Oh,
He's so calm he's so calm when he does it. That's the impressive.
Almost like, I don't want to say every day. It used to be every day. But this is for sure multiple times a week type of thing. So once you do this multiple times, and what's going to happen, that one I didn't, but most of the time he's good at warning you. He'll start growling and staring at you. And, if he's resource guarding something, not to touch it. I got so many stories about this dog. It's
awesome.
like awesome.
he's the dog from hell, but he's also the dog that That's the kind of dog that teaches you
so much.
Very few people in this sport that have been in the sport 30, 40 years even have had a dog like that. They'll tell you they've had,
Oh yeah,
but they haven't.
everybody has one or had one. And,
You were so bad.
yeah.
And then you see this thing and you're like,
yeah,
this is a little half-assed
Yeah.
dog and you need to stop.
Yeah.
You need to
Yeah.
stop nagging him
Yeah.
and actually no, this is a dog that we've taken him to the brink
yeah,
to make control with him.
yeah.
And
Kept him alive, to be honest.
it-
If we didn't do this stuff and we didn't do Schutzen, there's no way he'd be alive.
well, we went to a seminar. You missed the seminar, Paul. I'm not even gonna say what seminar it was, but we went to a seminar, me and Carson. We pulled the dog out. We had him between two lines. We were training with a high level dude. And we're just saying, look,
I heard.
we want to get this dog
yeah,
to a title. The goal is to just title him. He's really unpredictable and unreliable here. You know, a lot of people think, oh, if I just did this clever training and this nepopo and this positive, and he just loved me and he loved the work, he would do it. And it's like, listen, we did all that.
Yeah.
We did all that. We did all the nice work with him. We made all the motivation work with him. Like we did a ton of that because I thought, to be honest, in the beginning, that when we retrained him like this, he would be much more compliant because most dogs are. But he just, once we added protection to the equation and said, all right, you have to control yourself around the helper and you can't just be, not outing and not healing and all this type of stuff. You can't just go after the helper whenever you want. That's when we ran into really who Vasco is.
Yep.
And there was no amount of clever training that was ever going to change who he was.
no,
And the reality is he actually went through a number of handlers that were good handlers.
Yeah.
Not people that didn't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they were.
And he
a lot
was,
better than me.
yeah,
Yeah, a lot better than me.
nasty dog. And he did what nasty dogs do. And most people would never live with a dog like that. They would put that dog down.
Yeah,
And whatever they might say. So it's funny. We went through the seminar. Anyways, whatever happened. We're not going to get into it.
Yeah.
But bottom line, 2 lines. And the dog received several severe corrections. And, people were crying and, oh, that's wrong, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, listen, I didn't see you in line to take this dog. And by the way, he's available for adoption right now.
yeah.
Carson's retired him, but if you really think you can give him a better home, by all means, reach out. We'll hook you up. But I don't want to hear the only rule is you cannot put him down unless there is a severe, real
And you can't
physical
blame
reason.
Carson.
And you can't blame anybody. It's all your fault if something goes south. Because remember, you're the smart guy or smart girl that thinks you can do it better. So next time one of these dogs comes available, make sure you're in line. Make sure your hand is raised for one of these real ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we made the IGP2.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And, that's my first couple titles, right, with a dog. And I remember even the IGP1. Remember I did the tracking. Tracking went decent. Did my obedience. That went decent. We're doing our protection, which is the oh shit moment. And then at the end, we had no out, which is a DQ. So I did all this work and all this stuff. The whole day was spent, and I was so pumped up for this IGP1. I've never had one before. Boom, DQ. Didn't out, so I have to go and collect the dog, and that was a kind of a waste of time. But
No, you.
That's it. That's his first time.
Yeah. That was his. Yeah.
There'll be a few more of those. Yeah. Happens to literally everybody that the dog doesn't out.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
You get through.
Done.
Yeah. But now he has a new dog,
Yeah,
Rocco.
Rocco.
he's a nice guy.
Bear.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's a lot of dog too. He's not a Vasco,
Not even close.
but he's a lot more of a dog than a lot of dogs out there for sure.
Yep.
And clearly I like that, I guess. And now I got two assholes, in my home. So
You leave them loose together, right?
Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, instant death.
I watched that video though.
Oh man, in the corner throwing money on.
Throw $20 bills at him. Yeah, no. It's funny. Like once you've got it, that's one thing I've been very blessed with in my training career, whether it was Danger or Vasco, the other dogs. I've been blessed with running into some really, really extreme stuff.
Yeah.
Extreme stuff. Carson's seen it as he's been working with me, as he worked with me from the beginning, and then you've seen it. Like, so once you see these types of dogs, the vast majority of cases it's like, no problem. We know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, and then when someone tells you their story about their
they're
badass, blah blah blah, and you're just like,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think so.
I gotta see it in person. You know, obviously everybody has a story, and everybody has this mythical creature. Like I was saying before, like it's like I don't believe it unless I see it or I trust that guy, very well.
Oh, there's some people like,
Oh,
Yeah.
the real
They
dog
say it.
people when they
There's a
say
few
it, you're like,
people
okay.
around, but
And then there's other people that say it, and you're like, I don't know, but
no, I know, because I know you.
yeah.
I know you. Like, listen, I know you. I know that type of dog would have eaten you.
yeah,
And I know you're not that type of handler.
yeah,
And that's the mistake a lot of people make is they think you're going to win the dog over with love, and they don't understand the language of respect
yeah.
for dogs.
Or people think the whole alpha dominant thing.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
no, this dog will always be more dominant than me. There's no doubt about that. I ain't going up to him and being this gorilla and trying to put him in submission. No way.
And neither end of the spectrum will work. You're not gonna nice your way into the dog listening to you, and you're not gonna bull your way into the dog listening to you.
Yeah.
You have to be smart about how you're pressure. A lot of people, listen. Let's face it. We have a bit of a reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We have a reputation because listen. I'm a big believer in leaning into things. Right. If somebody says something, if someone's like, you're a terrible abusive trainer. I'll be like, yes, I am. I am a horrific. Believe you ain't seen nothing yet. I'll lean into anything. I'm not gonna be like, no, I don't do that. I'll lean right in. And I'll be worse than whatever you think I am. Right?
Yeah.
But realistically, we all train together, so we kind of know what it is. You know what I mean? But like, pressure needs to be laid in. You have to use pressure, but it has to be smart pressure that is meaningful to the dog and productive. If you think you're just going to go and show a dog like that who's boss, you will never show that dog who's boss. He's got, like you said, he's got more boss in him than anybody that lives on this planet.
Yeah.
He's going to die
What?
to be the boss.
Oh, then other people think like, oh, you made him like this, or he was learned to be this dominant type of dog and all this stuff. And it's like, partially maybe, but a lot of this is going to be also
For sure, if we had a dog
I don't think he
puppy,
was made to be like this.
No,
I think he was allowed to be.
exactly. Yeah,
He was allowed.
This is a lot of genetic,
Yeah, somebody
going on.
or he won once with maybe a good handler that all of a sudden, man, it just tricked it and clicked over and
but you're talking about learned behavior versus genetic behavior. The level of extremity he shows in the behavior is far beyond learned behavior. I've dealt with many dogs that have learned to be handler aggressive. It's nowhere close to that because you can unlearn them real quick. With those ones, most dogs, handler aggression is, for sure, there's some genetic predisposition, probably like a predisposition to redirect or something like that that's present. But and then it just gets enhanced with repetition and experience.
Dominance and all this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, mommy doesn't let me go to the helper. I bite her.
I'm biting somebody.
I'm biting
somebody,
and then they get a big reaction, and then of course the behavior is reinforced. But in many cases, with behavior that extreme, there's a huge genetic predisposition. And again, we know some of the previous handlers. These people are not people.
No.
And it's funny. Some of the people that are talking nonsense about the dog, they don't even know it. But a friend or two of theirs had that dog. I didn't say who, but a friend or two of theirs had that dog, and he was horrific with them.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, there's a huge portion of, that dog that is genetic, and he's like that. And there's only very few people that can coexist with a dog like that, and that can train a dog like that.
Which
I'm really
it could be a super dog. Like, say you had this dog as a young puppy, and you kind of did this whole thing with the dog and all this stuff, and you never allowed live bites all the time and attacking you and all this. Like, he could be maybe a really nice dog, right?
Yeah.
But also he could be the worst dog in the world, and he could be the devil. A little.
For sure, with a dog like that, there's pivotal moments. There's pivotal moments as you're bringing them up when he will experiment with that behavior, and if you do the wrong thing, it gets a lot worse. If you do the right thing, you keep it down a little bit. It's not all ever gone completely, but it's definitely much less.
Yeah.
Your dog Rocco that you have right now, you can see that he's a lot more stable.
Yes.
He has that mofo in him.
Yes.
But it isn't near what it was with the other dog.
Yeah. And, you know, like, let's say I didn't have Vasco when I got a dog like Rocco, I would think maybe he's King Kong. I'm like, when we go from Vasco to Rocco, you're like, oh, this is a dream. This is nice.
And I think what people don't get about dogs like Vasco is there is a training plan. It's not just like, let's go out and see what happens and connect magically.
Oh, no. You got to
There is a sequential, systemic training plan that's applied.
And consistent, you know,
Consistent.
very consistent. Like I said, training every day. I'm here, you know, twice a week, sometimes even 3 times a week.
3 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, like it was
a lot.
and this went on for a long time.
Yeah.
So this is not. Hopefully, he gets better with training a couple times a week. It's you gotta put in the work.
3 times a week here, maybe 2 times a week here, and then the rest of the time at home.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, every day. Yeah.
And it's all about
You know, even when I feed him every single day for the last 4 years, it's you know, sit down. You know, you have to wait for it. He's sitting there drooling. Oh my gosh! And it's not just like, you know, here's your food bowl. I want to pet you a little bit. It's like, no, you give him the food bowl, you walk away, and you wait till he's finished.
It's not
Let him outside. It's just structure, constant.
Yeah.
Strip might just feed such a
Yeah.
he's a dream.
Which I would love that, right? But it's like, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
What are you gonna do? So, a lot of dog. You know, obviously everyone has this different thing when they say a lot of dog, but like out of control. Like if I have him in my house, like I gotta bring him to the house on a leash. He's jumping all over the place. You know, he's so confident. He's trying to jump on the kitchen table, and this is a 15 pace walk to the, you know, back door type of thing, and it's like he's trying to murder my other dog over here, and I let him outside. He's trying to jump in the pond, and I'm trying to drink my coffee, and he's friggin' jumping all over me and trying to smoke my cigarette.
oh no, really? I'll let you smoke your cigarette.
Oh no, he's a terrible juvenile delinquent.
Very dangerous.
But I'd say about 2 months. 2 months he'll have a better. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, people will see him on the channel. We'll
Oh, he'll be.
it's been a while since we did a train, just our club training video.
Yeah.
We call it our club. It's just our little training group. You know, we're missing somebody.
Yes, we are.
Joel.
We're missing Joel. Joel is, I think, currently he's preparing to have his first son.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him.
Yep.
It's going to be a 2 sheep day for him soon.
Yep.
For those who don't know, in my religion and culture, when you have a son, you sacrifice 2 sheep in order to be thankful to God, and you distribute the meat to all the poor people and to your relatives. So I call it, with a son, it's 2 sheep.
2 sheep.
With a daughter, it's 1 sheep. Don't be upset. I didn't make the rules. I just follow them. I just said the deal. I always say, if you're going to have a son, it's a 2 sheep kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Joel's Portuguese, so I'm sure he's having a couple of sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't seen Joel in a little bit.
No.
Yeah. He comes and goes, shows up late sometimes.
Well, he's your old pond.
The last time, I think he was working for like 27 hours straight or something.
That's always Joel. I've been working for 3 days.
Yeah, 3 days straight, no sleep, and I was over here. Pulls up and comes right in.
Got the cramps in his
E-collar in the wall, plus his E-collar in the wall. It's not even on the dog.
His e-collar's never...
No, yeah.
I charged it.
Blame is on the girlfriend. Blame is on his son, probably. I don't know.
Now it'll be on his son.
Yeah. Son didn't plug it in.
and the creamer here.
The cream, oh, that's the best. Oh, this is awesome.
You don't sleep for 3 days?
Yeah, well, you can hear Joel from a mile away because all you hear is this freaking dog barking in the bow.
Joel's dogs are very noisy in the back of the truck.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's on purpose.
I don't know. Like, he must enjoy it. I don't know. Or his music's cranked up.
So Joel has an Onyx son and he has a Vasco son.
Yeah.
Because we did breed at Vasco one time. We had a litter of... I bred him to a very stable female, and ironically, all the puppies... Well, not ironically, kind of, I guess, predictably, all the puppies, super stable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Super nice dogs.
Yeah.
You know, like very, very friendly.
Yep.
But they have that other side. You can see it, but it's very stable.
Nice drive.
Very stable dogs for the most part. I don't think I've seen... I mean, I haven't seen all of them, but everybody that has them really likes them.
Yeah.
And they're for the most part, they're very large.
Huge.
Well, Vasco's not small.
He's 92 pounds.
Oh,
Something
he's
like that. Oh, yeah. He's big.
But the bitch I bred him to, Diva, she's from a line that
She's not small either.
no, she's not.
Yeah.
Really nice looking female, a very social, stable female.
Yep.
You couldn't actually find a nicer,
No.
more friendly,
Yeah.
social, stable
Especially
female.
with the breeding, with him in the kennel when that went on, like she was being so nice, and he's being such a fucking asshole.
That clip went viral. When we were breeding Diva and Vasco.
Yeah.
I put it on Instagram. Like, just a reel of him growling
It's awesome.
and like showing me all his teeth. Well, I think he was locked to her, or he might not have been locked. He might have just been standing with her.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah, possessing her, grabbing her, growling, not letting us come in there and separate them. He wanted all of her, and
Like that. What you don't understand is that's the kind of dog you breed.
Yeah.
Because you're going to end up with puppies like that.
yeah,
Social.
even half that,
Like-
awesome.
Oh, half of Vasco's more than enough for anybody, right? Now, we'll see kind of how the joints turn out. Like
Yeah.
once those puppies are almost all old enough to be X-rayed, so we'll X-ray Joel's dog, and we'll see. But so far, it's a nice looking puppy.
Yeah, he's big and black. I think that's actually his name, isn't it?
Yeah, his name, his registered name is Big Black.
Big black.
And I was at the request of Joel. I was like, "Bro, are you sure?" And he's like,
Yeah, like Big Black.
yeah, sure, Big Black. That's what he wanted."
All right.
I'm like,
He's big and black. He's big and black, I guess.
he is all those things.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I guess we'll see Joel another time.
What other funny shit we got? What other funny shit we got? We could talk about Joel all day long for sure.
Oh, he said we can't talk about Joel without him being.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give him an honorable mention.
Yep.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but I just wanted to take a quick second to mention some of the awesome online training courses that we have available at ShieldK9Online.com. Whether you have a new puppy, a behavior problem, or you just want a really well-trained off-leash dog, check out our Shield K9 online course portal today.
One thing, guys, is like you'll see, like I'm not going to be one of these podcasts where when I podcast, I just podcast with people like I want to talk to. I'm not going to podcast with, it's always got to be like some dog famous dude here. Like it's just going to be people I like talking to. And these are two guys that I like talking to. We've spent years now together. We've been training together for years. And it's just like, it's legit.
Yeah.
Like we just like hanging out and talking and training dogs. And sometimes we get mad at each other and sometimes we make fun of each other.
Yep.
That's
All
what,
of the above.
yeah, that's what dog training's about.
Yep. It's all of the above.
When you're doing it for fun,
Yeah.
this is not my work. You know what I mean? Like for me, I tried a few times to make dog sport like kind of more part of my job. And every time I did it, I ended up not liking dog sport.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm very clear. I delineate dog sport from my job. I mean, I shouldn't be.
Well, I don't even do dogs as a living.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm not. To me, this is really a
Nice hobby, yeah.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
real.
Carson, you do it as a living. You do it as a living.
Yeah. And I think it works out great because I've learned so much from Schutz, and you can kind of like incorporate that stuff into the pet training a little bit as well. But yeah, dealing with dogs all day gives you a good excuse to train Schutzen all day long too. So
Yeah, I got to.
that's the best part.
When did you start in dog training?
I think a memory pulled up. It was Danger in the Kennel, and I think it said it was 7 years ago. It was 7 years ago, and that was kind of right when I was starting out here as a kennel tech. I had my own dog training here before that, but I think
Oh yeah, you had your Kijiji Shepherd.
she's awesome. $400. $400. I'll tell you what, like
$400.
she is.
That's Canadian.
She's awesome. Well, we did a shit ton of protection. I'd probably spend like at least
No, that's how I met you.
yeah.
Because you contacted me and you said, "Look, I got this shepherd."
Well, I actually called you at like 2:00 in the morning one time. You didn't answer, but
Yeah.
I was all pumped up because I got this Kijiji dog, and I'm like, "Fuck protection, let's go!" And I, found Shield K9. Didn't know what the hell it was, and anyhow, I got in touch with him. And I told him, hey, I got a Kijiji dog. I got German Shepherd. It bites, some toys and stuff. Like, let's do it. He's like, I don't know, man. Like, it sounds like doesn't sound pretty good. But I'm like, no, the dog bites toys. Like,
You don't get it.
You're gonna understand.
anyhow, I'll tell you what. Like, this $400 dog would fight for real. Like, you know,
we did
and it's super stable. Like, you can have this dog around kids, you know, people, and people come in the house, but, you know, you grab the collar and you activate this dog. You know, we've trained the dog for sure to be on and off.
Yeah, we brought her through the reactive side
Many months.
because she had drive, but wasn't like too much drive.
Yeah.
So we brought her through the reactive side,
yeah.
and that's what you generally have to do with those types of dogs if they can do it.
She has that nerve where
Yeah.
she gets very defensive very quickly. When you threaten her like that, especially with me involved, and I loved it, and that's what.
Yeah, I know you were having two.
Oh, it was. I've come here twice a week.
He was having an organic check here.
Fucking hell, you care.
That's what how I
At the time, what were you doing for a living?
Was I chicken catching?
chicken catching,
Driving chicken catchers for a buddy of mine.
driving chicken
Catchers, I think it was $500 a week, and it was a great job. He was these shit with these guys, and I think it's probably one of the worst jobs you can actually do would be to catch chickens or to pick worms. And I was driving these guys, and you see all sorts of shit. Anyhow, I need my $500 a week, and I'd fucking come here and spend it.
Yeah. That's how you worth it. That's how you start. My Doug Justin was the same way.
Yep.
My first one. I was like, I saw him turn on, and I'm like, oh my god,
It's amazing. It's amazing.
and you just
Yeah, Carson's all horned up, and I was just like,
Yeah, this guy's
he called me up. People like, all right, I want to come train with me.
Yeah.
All right, all right.
right.
All right, all right. And that was way back when, like, I was more open,
Yeah.
Nowadays, Carson, there's no way in hell.
No.
I wouldn't do it.
No.
No. I wouldn't do it.
Well, then, so that happened. Then, I, did all that stuff. And I think I asked him, like, hey, man, like, you guys looking for anybody? I'm kind of tired of driving these fuckers around. And I like, no, don't need anybody. I'm like, all right. And then I think probably a few months went by. They're like, hey, man, you want to clean up some shit? I'm like,
Dog shit.
okay. I want to clean up some dog shit, kennel tech type of stuff. I'm like, all right, and it all kind of started from there.
You were, I believe, other than my brother, you were the...
And Hef. I think Hef
Was Hev here first?
I seen Hef here, but once in a while just to help out, I think.
Yeah, you wasn't full-time.
No.
I think you were the first... No, there was a guy before you briefly.
Okay.
I think he had come from that Tar Heel school.
Okay.
He was here for like a month or two. Yeah, but he was super unreliable.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, I was like, I was like, I remember Carson wanted a job, so I was like, well, you know what? At that time, me and my brother were doing all the training, and it was getting a little out of control. There was too many dogs, and we just couldn't look after them all. So I'm like, all right, you wanted a job, boy? Let's come down. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's the beginning of it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so I guess you were my like original kennel tag.
Yeah.
Other than me and my
The
brother.
best.
Yeah, the best kennel.
Actually,
You were actually
I beat that shit up like
He was pretty good.
he was actually, you know what it was? It's because I enjoyed it. Like, I don't know, like, obviously training's fun too, but like I enjoyed like taking the dogs out, cleaning the runs, making it, perfect, cleaning out, when they pee in there by accident or whatever, or if it's just dirty and making it all clean again and shining it all up. And I don't know. It was fun.
It is satisfying. Like when it's been a while since I've had to clean some of the runs around here, just because I do other things, more important things, of course. But well, when you did it, it's like, here's something. It's a small space, it's a kennel space, but it's disordered.
Yeah.
And then when you order it and you make it nice again, and then you let the dog back into it, there's just something satisfying.
I don't know what it is. Like, it's like, you don't want to clean your bathroom. It's like, fuck that. But like, like a kennel and it's dirty and you clean it with, your soap and whatnot, pressure washer, and it goes into the drain. You squeegee it all out and you're just looking at it, it's all shiny. It's like, okay, I'm a cleaner. I'm a real cleaner, man. I'm a real cleaner.
I'm a real cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is satisfying. Satisfying. So then you did that. Then you worked here. I don't remember how long.
I think I worked here for about 3.5 years. Full time. It was full time. So full time here is holy fuck. That's like 10 years. But
What are you talking about? You weren't here for 10 years.
yeah, it feels like 10 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were grinding back then.
It was busy.
We had so many board and train.
Oh yeah.
We were banging away, and we were still finding our way. Like I'd never had employees beyond my brother,
Yeah, good.
and I don't know that he counts. I never had it.
There's stories there.
I had no I didn't know how to scale, you know what I mean? And I was like, we wanted to keep training dogs and train more and more dogs. And we were getting there, but it was a little hectic. We had a lot of people come through here. A lot of them now are dog trainers.
Yep.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
some of them good, some of them not so good.
Yep.
Yep.
But Carson, I always liked Carson's skills. Like he always, because he had a legitimate interest. Like we've had people come through here that became dog trainers and still are dog trainers. That quite frankly are not that interested in the art of dog training. They just do enough to make money.
Big money. Yeah.
And then you'll see some people like you, like us and Jess.
Yeah.
Those people like really like passionate.
Yeah.
Passionate. Like
It's not like they grew up with dogs and you know, you just like training them. Even if you made $5 or $5,000, like you're still going to train the dog.
yeah.
You know, like it's
If everything stopped and they said, okay, like you can't have a career in training dogs anymore, would you still train dogs? And if the answer is yes,
Yeah.
then you have a legitimate passion. man.
yeah.
And we all pursue the dog sport because we have a passion.
Yeah.
Right? Like we like it.
It has a hell of a lot of money. You know, like dog sport.
Spending?
Dogs, oh my.
Oh my
We're
God.
not even going to see how much Carson's dog costs.
Yeah, no, it's the most
It's just everything is just
No.
it's just all you just
No, I
open
think
your
you paid more
wallet.
for Pharaoh.
No,
You're right.
no.
My dog was more expensive
Yeah,
than Pharaoh.
yeah, which is pretty wicked. But yeah, like people always ask me if I'm telling my buddies about Schutzen or whatever, like, oh man, you must make a lot of money off that. And I look at them, I'm like, oh man,
No,
no,
it's a giant
no.
sound.
My dog is worth like more than my car times. and the dog is one thing, like traveling to the States with you
Yep.
guys. You know, we're going out for dinner, we're going to nice hotels, we're
Yep.
paying for the workshop. You know, you're paying for you know your employees at home to cover your stuff, and you know at the same time you're paying them like, you know everything. So it's pretty wicked how much things add up, and it's not like your regular hockey tournament. You know?
No.
It's
Way more expensive.
very expensive,
Yeah.
but well worth it.
Oh, I love it.
Well-
As long as life's short, you know?
They're short, and it's worth it when you have
Well, when
a
you get
good
to-
dog and a good team.
once you get to a point where you have a good dog,
Yes.
and that dog is on, and now you're just trying your best to dial that dog in,
Yeah.
and you got a team around you, and you know specifically where you go for what, you know.
And I think the team helps with that at the same time, because sometimes I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing and what my next plan is. And you come here and you're like, all right, perfect. I know what I'm doing for a week now.
Yeah.
Or, hey, the same thing with you. And hey, your dumbbells are a little bit finicky. You need to do this.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
it's nice to let other people watch you. And, sometimes you get bullied a little bit, but sometimes you come out of here with a bit of a tear in your eye. I don't want to come back, and you come back.
Actually, it's once I leave, it's good.
Yeah.
But I always feel like when we train together that I come out like better.
Yeah.
So I've got direction.
Yes.
Now sometimes I need to stop because you guys are training more than me because I work a full-time job still. So I track in the morning, I do something the best I can at lunchtime, and then in the evening I do some stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just want to sit there and have a beer and let them hang out in the yard with me, and I don't want to do it.
Oh yeah, that's important.
But what sometimes I need to take that, what we've talked about, and just let me have a couple weeks to implement this.
Yep.
Let me do it because I'm not gonna turn this around in a week.
Yeah. Well, and you gotta let them mature and all that stuff.
He's getting there. Another 4 years will be fun, right?
We always give
Because my dog at 4 years old, he just turned 4.
we always just Paul shit about maturing because that's Paul.
You can at least say when Paul didn't go to the chiropractor, and it's not for him; it's for the fucking dog.
No, they're all chiropractic.
Yeah, dog chiropractor. Well, he seriously without his chiropractor when he was at year and a half old stage, year and a half to 2 years, he hit so hard. Let's be real.
Yeah.
He was jacking himself up. So she put him back together. I haven't had to go for about a year now. But
It's funny. Paul's really particular about his dog. Like whenever his dog wouldn't perform, he'd be like, "Oh, he just needs to mature." So we do some more. Just so more. Them big cars are just giving up and not the shit about it. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's matured all right. But you know what? I'll say this about Paul's dog. He did.
It's getting good.
I did not like your dog for the first 2 years at all.
Well, neither did I.
So, well, you just talk like that. I did not like his dog for 2 years, and then like in this last year, the dog is really like
It's actually a year and a half now. I think
he's really started to show, especially in the protection, like the grips, the speed.
Yeah.
which he always had that, but he
did, but-
he was really sketchy.
Yeah, he was super sketchy.
He was super sketchy.
And now you kind of see like there's enough dog there now that you can do something with him
Yep.
if you put the training in.
He works good, but he's beautiful at the same time.
Oh, he's
I posted a picture of him too, and holy gorgeous. He's gorgeous. He might have probably the best looking one.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, he's
Yeah.
the best looking.
Yeah.
He's the best looking.
Yeah.
Grim, for those of you that know anything about the dogs I have, is a full brother to Glitzy. We actually picked them up at the same time.
Yeah.
At the same time. So, full brother to Glitzy, which is out of Uva and
And Ice.
Ice, Mom, Ice and Krauts.
Eisenkrauts.
Ice and Krauts.
I gotta get roll that R.
Yeah, my mistake. So yeah, you know, it's been a few freaking years, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lot to.
Why? I don't know. So you know, I can't remember when you went off and you were running your own business for a while, Carson,
Yeah.
and then you came back to when did you get back into? When did you say you wanted to do IGP?
Yeah, because
So no, what it was is
seminar that we
So you guys, this is probably a
you
lot.
didn't even have a dog.
I didn't have a dog, but I was watching the IGP seminar, with Buddy there.
Stefan?
Yeah. And I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. I want a dog, but just didn't have it. Then I bought 2 puppies from you, right?
Oh yeah.
Because you always said you got to buy 2, you pick the better one, and you sell the other one.
Yep.
So anyhow, I bought 2. I trained both of them, sold the one, kept the other one, and I was doing a lot of training with this dog, and I was doing the IGP on Sundays there. And then for some reason, I'm like, you know what? I think I need something, a little bit different. It's a friggin' nice dog, but not activation. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't active for.
Yeah.
He liked me and stuff, but he was just not spicy enough. Great police dog. So anyhow, he went to the police. And then I didn't have a dog. So I kind of, said, all right, I don't know what to do. I'm not coming anymore type of thing. And then wasn't too, maybe 6 months. I would
Not even.
I don't think it was that long.
Not even. I don't think it was long at all. It was weird. It was like, I remember like you were looking for a dog and like I'd said, oh, I'll import you one.
Yeah.
And then that option came along. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So
Well, I remember even when that dog came, the delivery driver or whatever pulled up. And he's like, hey, man, your dog's in there. Like, I'm not getting the dog out. You're getting it. And I'm like, yeah. I was like, how the fuck do I get this dog out? He's like, oh, grab some food. Don't get bit. So I was
the good
and he's like, fuck the kill. He's just staring at me. And I'm kind of like, come on, puppy. And I think he wanted water or something. So I had some water there. And I kind of put the slip lead on him and whatnot. But anyhow, yeah, Vasco was technically, I would say my first IGP dog.
yeah, I would say that.
Yeah.
You're right.
It was the same for me and Onyx.
And terrible first IGP dog. Terrible.
No, he was actually a good IGP. You know how many people would never have titled that dog?
Who's that?
Vasco.
Oh, nobody.
We're talking about experienced people in the sport would not be able
Yeah.
to title that dog. They
No.
wouldn't be able to do what was necessary, and they wouldn't have.
I doubt I could have done.
They wouldn't have the training,
I'm not like.
the training smarts, or the guts to do it.
Yeah, even the home for it, like I said, like
Well, even after I came up with the last dog I had, I'm like,
oh yeah, that'd be a good story to tell too. Yeah, that's
that dog was crazy though. Yeah, he. I'm not going to say any names or where I got the dog
No.
because I don't want to do that. But I remember looking at him and saying, "You're either going to kill me, or I'm going to kill you."
yeah.
And I remember going in the kitchen and telling Karen, he's going to either kill me or I'm going to kill him. So I think it's time to put him down.
Yeah.
He was sketchy.
Yeah.
I remember I boarded him one time and the person that has the boarding kennel has gone to Worlds and an experienced handler handled him, dealt with him, and she said to me, yeah, he really falls apart when you're not around.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, okay. And then I let him out of the kennel, and he comes slinking out, hackle all the way across his back. Now, I'd been gone for like 4 days, right? And I'm like, oh man, let's just walk a little bit. And I just,
Nice to see you.
That's his own dog.
Yeah, nice to see you.
and I'm like, oh man, what am I doing here?
I don't understand, you know.
And he sent me to the emergency room.
Yeah, I did your hand or something, didn't you?
Well, that was the first time. And then after that, I just did it at home. I was like, I'm not going to go through this again. And then there was a couple incidences where he didn't. I didn't let him. You know, I mean,
He tried.
fast. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He came up at,
But it wasn't over. So people think it's all over training.
no,
None of it was over training.
No.
no.
It's
One-
life.
One was, but it wasn't. One was, but it was.
Probably your fault anyway.
For sure.
Oh, it's always going to be my fault because I should have been on top of it. Right? I should have been ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you got Vasco, I'm like, oh shit, I'm glad.
Yeah. Now you get to watch, which is
But the difference is that Vasco is more stable than that.
yeah, your dog. I've seen your dog, and I've never seen anything like it. Like you putting him back in the crate, and this dog was like, "I want to fucking kill the world." It's
Yeah,
like
he'd go in the crate, turn
I
around.
just said go in the crate,
And he was just a.
and you would hear it from like a mile.
And it was a.
Oh yeah,
Right from the gut.
it sounded awesome.
He would resource guard the crate. He'd resource guard a bone in there.
He didn't like going in when you tell him to.
Yeah, he was just a. Yeah.
But you know what? On the field and protection,
Oh my God.
10 out of 10 grips.
Oh, yeah.
He was really nice barking.
Everybody is like, well,
A fat, heavy hitting dog. But when we say a dog isn't good in life, what we mean is there's no training.
Yeah.
We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Just living.
yeah.
We're just living together, stuff like that. There's many dogs that are great in life, but in training, because there's been mistakes in the training or because,
Yeah.
you know, maybe the dog just is oriented that way. They are very resistant in the training,
Yeah.
and there's a ton of problems there. But when a dog is pretty good in the training but not good in life, that's generally a big sign that it's an unstable dog.
Yeah.
The reality is he was fantastic in the training.
Oh, he was great.
Everything was there was parameters around everything.
Yes.
And it reduced his nerve is what it is, because there was guidelines. There's the wall here, there's the wall here. I'm playing right in the middle here. And I get my bites or I get my ball and his track. He was a good tracking dog. Tracking, you know, I'm going to get my rewards, my food. Now I didn't get to the point where I was going to take an article away from him. So
Yeah.
definitely was like, but yeah. And then I got Grim, and Grim bites. His bites are probably 9 out of 10 of what Jack's.
Jax is definitely the better working dog. But in life, your Grim is way more like stable and forgiving.
I would take a little bit less on the field. Yeah, really nice in life versus full power on the field, and then just a shit show in life. It's not fucking.
No, life is really important, and a lot of dogs, you know, people wouldn't believe it. Like, there's a lot of dogs that are just complete dumpster fires in life and really, really good on the field.
Yeah.
And the ideal dog shows both. Like, when I go to evaluate a dog, like, you know, I'm having someone actually look at a dog for me next week because I need another dog. Like, I got Gage, but I'm looking for another dog to compete with. And you know, I told him all the things I want him to check on the field, but then I also told him some things that I want him to check in life. Hey, like, make sure, you know, you run him through the house. I want to see the sociability. I want to see his behavior on slippery floors, on stairs, in dark rooms. I want to see his overall demeanor. I don't want to just see his long attack on the field and how much drive he has for a ball.
Yeah.
That's part of the equation. Yeah. It's really.
That's one of the things I love. Grim actually has an off switch. He's developed.
He does.
He's developed that off switch. So when he was younger, he didn't have it. He was just a goofy puppy.
Yeah.
But we'll go in the yard, you know, and I'm drinking a beer in the summertime on a Saturday afternoon. He'll fall asleep right there next to me, which I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
You know,
we want to live with our sport dogs. Like, I live with Gage. I mean, it's not always the most fun thing, but I do live with him, and he's pretty good in the house, and I've got 2 little kids.
Hey guys, before we continue, let's talk about something exciting. Have you ever wanted access to the same pro tools and products that we use here at Shield K9? Look no further. We've restocked the products at the Shield K9 online store, your ultimate destination for dog training essentials. From styling shirts to really cool dog training toys that I like to use every day when I train my dogs, thousands of customers can't be wrong. Visit our website at shieldcanine.ca and start training with confidence today.
Funny, you hear some people, sport dogs, it's just a sport, they ain't gonna do shit in real life. It's like all of our dogs are like, and back to the motherfucker thing, like it's like you don't want just a sport dog. We want a motherfucker, but also we want it to be stable with the family and whatnot. But it's just like I personally wouldn't own, a sport dog that isn't, going to be a protector in real life as well.
I did exactly my door.
We've all had dogs that, are great on the field maybe, but like they ain't doing shit in real life. And
You guys knew my last dog, Onyx.
he's awesome.
If somebody even bumped into me on the street, that dog would kill you.
Yeah.
And people are all so confused, but it's a sport dog. How could it do that? It's like
No, you don't
sport.
get it.
Sport is just a thing you do with
Well,
dogs.
You remember that Shih Tzu started as, it means protection dog.
Well, I think people get confused because there's a ton of bad training out there. So you do see a lot of people training Shih Tzu in a very kind of sporty,
Right. Oh, no, I get you that, but
happy-go-lucky way.
that old blood, and we all like that old blood is what we end up with. And that old blood goes back to dogs that were real to a certain level. Yes, Grim. I don't want to do any hidden work, sleeve work with him. I do not want to do any work on my property. I don't want to because I don't want him that keyed up.
Yes.
Right? Because he would key up. But he goes back to old blood. The same as as Onyx and
I think a big thing with a lot of protection dogs, it's like, okay, you'll say like a dog like Onyx. I know if I'm out in the woods with Onyx and somebody has ever even like had a crossword with me, that for sure, like if I didn't have full control, he'd go and do something immediately. Equipment, no equipment, whether they put pressure on him or not. People don't get that. It's the dog, it's not the training. For sure the training matters if you really like want to do it, but the type of dog
Players come first at the end of the day.
100%.
Train a German Shepherd if it's a mofo to bite a hidden sleeve. Like that mofo's going to bite you no matter what, but sure you can show them how to bite harder.
so it's okay.
With control.
We did that stuff. One of our training sets.
Oh, we do it all the time. Like we did muzzle work with Gage.
Yeah, that was fun.
We've done suit work with our sport with our IGP dogs.
Yep.
But the thing is, me, you, we like dogs that are already oriented that way. And actually nowadays, that actually kind of sometimes goes against what the sport looks for.
Yes.
Like I was seeing the vet check from the Worlds.
Yeah.
Like somebody posted the vet check from the
Seen that.
the WSV this year. And like this lady is all up that dog's rear end. And I'm like, is this German Shepherds or is this Golden Retriever?
Yes.
And they're saying they DQ'd people.
Yes.
That the dog showed aggression. I'm like, bro, if you were leaning on my dog like that and like.
Which is hilarious because, your dog I was videotaping the whole time at, nationals.
Yeah.
For 4 minutes straight, right? I don't know what that would be.
I don't know if they
don't
would have
know.
DQ'd me. They might have.
Probably, but
Just because he was growling.
he biting and he's not like lunging, but he's like, hey, I'm
But it happened when we did the scan with Grim. The judge, I just grabbed his collar and his muzzle, wrapped it around.
Yeah.
They did it.
Yeah.
The judges, I like dogs like that. I'm like, thank you for liking it.
Yes.
Because otherwise,
And then-
I was a little nervous. I was like, is he gonna?
This is part of the breed. These breeds they're not designed to just be generally social.
No.
Now they shouldn't be inappropriately reactive.
No.
And for sure, if you have a dog that's just a loose cannon,
Yes.
that's not okay.
No.
Right.
But on the other end of it, the dog is not a golden retriever, and it shouldn't have the temperament of a golden retriever. And to expect that dog would be willing to let a stranger push on the joints, pull the legs, she's grabbing the ears and looking back and handling the genitalia of the dog, and it's like, that's too much. Like, it's not the breed. Now, if you're saying the dog must put up with this in order to be considered a good example of the breed, we're moving away now from the breed standard.
Yeah.
But because some dogs, you have to build them to be a little bit nasty.
Oh, yeah.
With other dogs, you have to train them and tame them down and put them in those scenarios, multiple times to be like, hey man, like,
To allow them.
hopefully you don't growl at this guy. We're gonna fuck everything up here.
Yeah.
we gotta be quiet.
Well, you saw how many things we had to do for Gage's vet check.
Yeah.
To get through the vet check at the Nationals.
Balls touching, sticking things up his ass. I think was that.
No, I didn't do that. I drew the line there. I said we're not putting anything. We're not putting anything up his rear end. Whatever happens at Nationals happens at Nationals.
Yeah.
I'm not practicing that.
Yeah.
And you know what? He didn't like it, but he allowed it. Got through. To happen. We got through it. Now at the world level, maybe they would have DQ'd me for growling.
Maybe you imagine, flying all the way there, making off your bookings and your plan, and hey, sorry, you can't compete.
We might swell. I mean, the goal is next year to make the world team. So we'll see.
We got a lot of fake vet checks. We got.
Yeah, a lot of them. We'll do a lot of them. We'll watch the videos of the vet checks and try to duplicate it. Muzzle the dog, put them on tables, and just get them through it as much as we can. But it still might not go well. But hey, you never try, you never succeed, right?
Yeah,
You gotta be willing to fail.
yeah.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about all our dogs. We got.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for my number 2.
Yeah.
I'm not. Gage is a good dog, but there's a certain things that I don't think I'll be able to accomplish with him that I think I need another dog.
The training's better than the dog.
Hey, as a trainer, that's the goal.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, you do have to drive a certain kind of car if you want to win the race.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have quite the right car for the winning of the race, but I can be in the race.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might get like
That's a good way. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
And that's what people don't understand. There's a certain type of dog that really, really, if you want to excel in the sport,
you need that.
you need that type.
You need a good dog. You need good training, and you'll have super results.
Yeah.
If you don't have this, good dog, but you have, good training, this is where you'll start to see it kind of go down a little bit, or the opposite. Maybe some people have a really good dog, but the training is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And you see them go down again, and
It's got to be both.
Yeah.
It's got to be both.
Yeah.
If you've got kind of some of something and a lot of something else, maybe on like a local trial is good enough.
Yes.
On a regional or even maybe a national if it's a smaller national like ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could hypothetically, if things go my way, win a nationals at some point with them. But
Facing the real boys.
in the international level,
It's almost embarrassing.
yeah, I don't think he's the dog for that.
Yeah.
I'll still try, but I'm not under any delusions that it's going to be like a super strong finish. I mean, maybe you never know, but it really depends on the judging, depends on how he's feeling that day.
It's also the judging because, again, you have some judges that like a certain style, and then you have other judges that
don't,
hate
right.
that style.
Yes.
And then there's new judges all the time, and there's also old school judges. So it's like, you never know what you're going to get. You could either get something really good, or you can get, killed.
Yeah.
And we've seen that a little bit at, certain trials. So
It's interesting because, people be like, well, I don't want to do IGP because it's not realistic. It's like, hey, there is no dog sport that is realistic.
Yeah.
Oh, PSA is not realistic.
No.
There is nothing about PSA that is realistic.
it's cool as hell.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But,
it's
if your game is realism, dog sport is not for
you
you.
need personal protection, you need to do, street stuff. But unfortunately, there's
Then you have a loaded
there's no competitions for that.
But then you also have a loaded gun.
Oh yeah, unless you have
Well, it
a
depends on what you're training.
super nice dog, right? Like
Yeah,
you could have a well-balanced dog and all this stuff.
We talk about all this crazy dogs, but at the end of the day, I don't buy those dogs to sell and train and sell as protection dogs. We look for dogs that are social, stable. They have the courage to do protection. We do a ton of like civil work and stuff like that with them. But at the end of the day, we know that the dog's going to spend 99.9% of its life as a family dog.
Yeah.
And we're selecting dogs for that. These crazy dogs that we talk about, these are for us.
Yeah.
Think of us as like car guys. We got the car in the garage that you would never drive to work.
The Lambo, the McLaren.
The crazy car that you go out once and
You don't sell that to a family and they're talking with 4 kids,
No. We'll sell you a nice Mercedes sedan.
Yes.
You're not getting
That's true. Yeah.
you're not getting that crazy supercar.
No.
And that's the thing. It's like we're dog people and
we need the supercar.
we do because we're hobbyists.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond that. And we can appreciate those dogs and we know how to handle those dogs. But we're under no impression that those dogs are what,
Oh yeah, I don't see us.
the average person should have.
No.
But it's funny because it's so interesting that Like I've seen time and time again, people breeding stable dogs. Like they breed nice, stable, social dogs that are like kind of middle of the road dogs that will mew.
Almost pet dogs.
Yeah, almost.
Or even nice sport dogs.
Yeah.
Right? Where we'd be like, okay, he's a nice dog.
Yeah.
And we see people breeding them, and the puppies are always just junk.
Yeah.
Like nerve.
The training is super good, so
Yes.
it makes the dog look super good.
Yeah.
And then they go, shit, let's breed it because it's super good.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, see,
and then you look at the puppies and you're like, what the fuck happened here? And then they do it again.
Oh, this time the scores, the puppies will find out about the parents' scores and it'll be good. And it's like, no, like when you breed nice, compliant, relaxed, kind of like sporty, easygoing dog,
Yeah.
that's fine, but you're not going to end up with that. It's for whatever reason.
80% of themselves.
I get why people think maybe less.
Sure.
Because it's like to like, therefore you will get more of like, but usually those don't work out.
No.
Those breeds, like something has to be extreme. Now I have no problem. I think a nice, social, stable female.
Yes.
She's got good drive. She's got good grips. I don't like really generally nasty females. I like nice, easygoing, like social, stable females. Females that are very female. Mm-hmm. And then you put them to a mouthful of a male. And I think that's the best way.
Yeah.
That's my perception.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I think you get too much into the nervy females, nasty females, or females that are like males, generally speaking.
But that's your other passion. Your
Females.
other passion. No. I'm not going there. We're on a podcast. I was thinking, I meant your other passion is breeding.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, you are, and I think that's really cool because we need, I hate to be like, but I'm an older guy, to see somebody that's younger carrying on that working line.
Oh, yes.
Those working lines. In other words, the next generation of German Shepherds is, I'm watching certain people. There's a few of you guys around.
Well,
and I go,
Good
they're
breedings.
good breeding.
People that know what the fuck they're talking
That's
about.
exactly. We're doing it from a real,
Yes.
trying to really do it right.
Yeah.
And it's working dogs. And the guys, the few of you that I know around, that I respect, they're looking at high quality, not just points.
Yeah.
They're looking at what is this German Shepherd? Who is it? And how do we breed it?
Yes.
That's cool. I think that would be, if I was much younger, at this stage, I would get it.
I think it's going to be really important, especially because I think especially with the changes that are occurring in Europe,
Yeah.
there's going to be significantly less, especially in the next decade,
Yep.
quality working dogs available, especially the types of dogs that we like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hard, strong, aggressive, intense,
Yep.
driven,
Yep.
confident. People are selecting, and there's been a lot of chatter about it now because of the training restrictions, the ways that you can train in Europe is being restricted. People are selecting more nervous, compliant, kind of border collie type German Shepherds because these dogs don't need nearly as much pressure in order to maintain a high level of performance.
Yeah.
And that's what you're seeing also in the scores. So they're actually the some of the higher scoring dogs are actually representing that.
And, people think it's a good thing. It's not, because these are the dogs that can't settle in the house. These are the dogs that can't do any kind of real work because they don't have the nervous system for it. But they are the dog, if you show them this routine, this training over and over again, they become addicted to it because they're so nervy.
Yeah.
They got 90 points on the field.
Oh, they sure as freaking hell
Freak
do.
that shit.
Yeah. No, they're nervy. Their only security is in following the routine.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why it's like, okay, I go here, I bark like this, I get my thing in my mouth.
Right.
Oh, thank God, it's in my mouth.
Back to the crate.
That's what the thing. Oh shit. It's fun. And it's like people like, oh wow, it's a monster. And the dog looks so active on the field and powerful.
Well, the drive overcomes a lot of the nerve also. In the dog, you can see like, okay, I've seen a ball here in the armpit a billion times, so I'm a little bit nervous of this lawnmower over here, but the drive is overcoming it right now.
Yeah.
But right when I'm not healing, oh fuck, there's a lawnmower over there. I'm a little bit nervous of this lawnmower.
I literally have one of these dogs. Hey, no offense. Like, I'm sure there's many. In fact, I know there are many good dogs from this male, like the Xerxes Manimpol Ideal. Like, he's produced many dogs. But I had a dog like that. I imported this dog from Czech. This dog, like, in drive,
Yeah, he's a monster.
like, it was unbelievable. Like, top tier world level IGP talent. in life, the thing, like, I ended up giving this dog away for free. I paid tons of money for the dog.
Oh my god.
I gave him away for free, bro. You know why? Because, like, I'd take it around, like, he'd hear a wireless, let's say he heard a cordless drill, like, he'd hear it, like, away, like, a distance away. He'd start shaking and drooling. Any environmental stimuli that he would receive out of drive just destroyed
It's sad.
Yeah,
not
his bad. No,
Right?
Feel bad.
It's whatever the breeding happened in the combination, and it's
He's living in a nightmare.
yeah.
what he's not doing.
Yeah.
But he's not doing the work.
Whenever there's a dual drill going on, that's just a nightmare.
Up to you, that means you got to do some work.
Yeah.
Drill? What is drill? Yeah. I use an example because I could remember, like, just him hearing the drill. We were outside. We weren't even inside. We were out freaking side.
Fucking Dave.
Yeah. It wasn't Dave. Dave's using a drill. He was actually putting the kids' playground up. And this dog just fell apart. And I'm like, and that was not the only time. He fell apart many times. And I just kept trying to do a ton of exposure and get him through it. And he just would not. He would all
Can't fix that.
No.
Can't fix that.
And it was just like a genetic.
No.
It was terrible. I'd never seen anything. I'd seen bad.
Yeah.
That was
Well, it's the same thing when you watch a dog coming down a hall.
And
It's
every
the volume floored, it's all shiny, and they're like, it's the same thing. You can't fix that.
I say every dog has something. I've never, ever seen a perfect dog. And whoever says they do, they're fucking lying. There's always something. It could be a bad elbow. It could be a little bit nervous of slippery floors. It could be a shitty bite sometimes. It could be a floppy ear. I don't know. But
There's always something.
there's always something that you're like, I wish I was better.
There are very few perfect beings.
Yes.
no,
Be they dog, human, or
Yes.
otherwise.
there's only so many of us.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
yeah, except Paul.
Yeah.
Except Paul and his chiropractor.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's really important to get those good all around dogs as much as you can, and then you breed on them, and you hope that you
We try, yeah.
you hope you get something, you know, in the middle.
And everybody has a different outlook on a dog, right? Like, we want extreme. Some people don't want fucking extreme because they're going to have to get rid of the dog eventually because it's too much. They can't control it. So everybody has their own, thought on whatever they want or what they have. And, it's nice to see if you have a good thought of good dogs.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, we got Paul trialing in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yep.
So no pressure, Paul.
Big.
No, I really don't feel it. It's just like,
Yeah, we know you don't.
it's like that. Because I don't make any money off it, so it doesn't really matter. It's not getting,
That's true. That's a great way to look at it. There's no money on the line.
no money
It
on
matters to us, Paul, not you.
Oh, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
appreciate that.
I think I'll be going there, so we'll get a video so there's no
line.
yeah, no dark room bullshit.
Oh, there wasn't a video, but it was really good.
It was on my phone.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened with
My phone doesn't have
Actually, that one with the BH. Actually, I forgot about it with the BH.
Yeah.
It's like a
Forgot
BH.
about
Who
the
cares?
We care.
Carson and me both had high BH, so we want to know why you didn't get high BH.
Oh,
Oh, by the way, for those of you who want to see, it's funny because Vasco, when he was just doing one phase, which is obedience,
yeah.
the BH was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a really nice BH. On video, by the way, on the channel. Check it out. You can see Vasco's BH.
Yeah.
So me and Carson both got high BH, but you didn't get a high BH.
Well, you didn't get high. I think you got low.
Low BH. I called it embarrassment. Actually, I think
it was a good try reward.
Yeah. I think I'm trying to think who topped me. There was one dog that did better than me. He looked good though.
How many dogs were there?
There was a lot. There was like
really?
no. There was probably 8 BH.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not.
Carson's was
Well, you were the only one.
I think there was 14.
He was the only one, and he was
high. 14 dogs on his.
14. Yeah. And it's funny because
There were some good ones.
there was good ones.
Yeah,
there was one of the other top ones there was a fucking golden retriever.
yeah.
It was amazing
That's
to
what
see.
happened.
It was amazing to see how good the training was.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Well, you would almost expect a golden to be able perform at a high
with the drives and stuff like that. Yeah.
No, that's the fun thing about the sport is like you can go even when you're not trialing. I get to go and watch Paul throw on the field.
Trailing is one thing.
I don't think
Watching trials is another, right? So watching your buddies and you know, obviously supporting them, but also fucking ripping on them for their mistakes.
Awesome.
You're never going to be perfect. You know, I've made mistakes. Obviously, everybody else has made mistakes. And after, you just absolutely ruin them for it. We're not going to do it again.
Why?
Yeah, but you're going to Quebec, so I don't have to worry about you being around.
No, what are you talking about? I'm planning on coming.
Yeah, but then you're leaving.
Yeah, I'll
Are you going?
afterwards.
Oh,
No, my goal. So if he's trialing on Saturday, I'm going to show up in the morning
and then leave.
watch whatever I can watch, and then go direct from there to Ottawa to go to the Shield K9 Ottawa official opening.
Yep.
There you go. You know, actually, it's not the official opening; it's Pet Expo.
Protection, so that way.
But either way, you know, I'll be there to help you, Paul.
Okay.
Both with my support and also with my
Middle finger.
as you go by.
Yeah.
You son.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for that.
I think I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think
I like that's the great thing. So like I refused to go to any trial that I wasn't competing in.
Yeah.
But now, because I would just be like, well, man, I wish I was competing. But now that I've been there and I've been competing a whole bunch, and also that you guys are trialing, I like going to other because I have something invested now. I'm like, all right, well, there's Paul.
That and I think even going to some, like, you learn from it.
Oh, for
okay,
sure.
this judge didn't like this. What the fuck, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm doing this, so maybe
Well, that's why you here.
right? Or this dog, I heard he's a monster. You go out there and you watch, you're like, okay,
That's what-
that I don't know what happened there. And like you watch some dogs, you're like, oh my god, it is a monster.
Yeah.
like it's amazing, right? So that's also the best part of seeing trials and your buddies, obviously, and old friends that you don't see in a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, once you've been in this sport for a while, it's funny. Like now I go to trials and I recognize so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we're chatting with people that I haven't seen in years, but we see each other at the trial and stuff like that. And it's
That's fun.
You go out for dinner after,
Yeah.
and you have a few drinks sometimes, and it's for sure fun.
Yeah, no, I like it. That's the good thing about having a small team. I don't like having too many people that we train with because then it takes too long.
It takes a full day to do some basic training.
Oh, yeah.
just to have a
Just to get
3 or
through
4 person group. Like we bang shit off within a couple hours.
And then we
And productive.
yeah, that's very productive.
Yeah.
We're after like we're going somewhere. We're not just watching. You know, like no offense to her, but the lady bringing her dog out, she doesn't track the dog. And, you know, she just brings the dog out to bark at the helper once a week.
Yeah.
And maybe give him a few grips and like half-ass obedience. And you know that she's never, maybe on a good day, she might scrape through an IGP-1. And it's like, hey, that's fine. Like, you know, she's having her fun, but that's not the goal of
And
our.
obviously, we all love protection, but like, there's 2 other phases.
Yeah.
And those 2 other phases is more about yourself doing it, right? Protection, you need somebody else to really bring out a lot of the shit. Obviously, you can do some of it by yourself, but you know, tracking, it's all you, man. Obedience, it's all you, man.
Yeah.
Protection, yeah, you need a good helper, but you know, you gotta bang those phases out if you want to succeed. And that's 3 times a day. And that's 3 times a day plus letting them out, feeding them. Like, you know, you're with this dog, you know, letting them out 7, 8, 10 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's hours and hours and hours every day. And you know, you gotta have a passion.
It never ceases to amaze me. I go to trial and like, listen, if you're just there and you kind of know what's going on, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But there's so many people. They're just like, you can just tell.
You know how much they train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it. It's like, bro, you train like 2 times
One
a week.
step on the field, you see it. Right? If that dog's looking around and uncontrolled, you're like, all right, fuck.
And it's their home field.
Yeah. And they still fail.
It's unbelievable. And it's like, you know, there's nothing wrong with not taking something like uber serious, but
Of course.
there has to be something.
Everybody has families and jobs and whatnot, but if you're serious and you want to win, you got to put in the work. If you're saying you want to win and you're not putting in the work, that's a you problem.
You know, it's funny. We were talking, me and Carson were recently talking about, we were at regionals, and at regionals, there was a girl at regionals, Corinne, who actually ended up coming 3rd at regionals, but she walked off the field after obedience, and she was very upset because I think her dog screwed up a dumbbell retriever or something. She ended up getting like 80 something in obedience, if I remember correctly. It's been a while. And she was crying.
Mm-hmm.
And she came in third, and she was on the podium, but she was still crying because of how badly her dog, in her mind, did on the obedience. And then she went, and I think she came in second or third in nationals. And we were like, that's the mindset.
Yeah.
That's the mindset of somebody that's like, hey, I'm taking this shit seriously. I'm not just happy to be here. I'm not happy to show up.
Yep.
I want to kill it, you know? And it's like, that's the kind of mindset you need to have.
You know, if you're not getting, V, right, like you should be upset.
Yeah.
You know, you should be getting, 96 plus. And, if you don't get that, okay, sure. Obviously it's still good, but your goal should be getting perfect as much as possible. Or what are you going to settle for? If you're like, okay, I'm okay with 80 points. Well, fuck, you're going to get 70. You're going to be like, oh, well, I tried.
Yeah. Oh, you never done that before.
I never did that before. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Try training a few more times.
Yeah, I see it. But tried 2 weeks ago and he didn't fucking do that.
So I'm going to tell you this for free, guys. I already said it to them. I cannot fathom people. I go and we'll be trial prepping for a trial or something. I'll go to the trial field and there will be people that are in that trial prepping their dog. The dog just wears a fur saver and they don't have a reward on them. And they're trial prepping and they think that this is a productive thing to do. I'm going to tell you this for free. That is literally the worst thing you could do to prepare your dog for trials, to go on the field without any ability to give positive or negative reinforcement. Even if you have the ball, but you don't have an ability to correct your dog and you think it's going to go well, good luck to you. All you're doing is you're making your dog collar wise and you're teaching your dog that, now this field is a place where there is a lack of reinforcement, there's a lack of accountability, there's a lack of rules. And then you're going to go and trial and be like, well, I hope it goes well.
Yep.
It's insane to me what I see some people doing from a trial prep perspective. Like, and you can see it's not that they don't care, it's just that they don't know.
Yeah. Or they think like, well, on trial day, I don't have any cars, so I better pretend it's trial day. It's like, well, that's a fucking horrible decision.
Whatever collar you use, whatever you're using to make negative reinforcement, you better have it. And whatever you're using to make positive reinforcement, you better have it.
And obviously, big trials, you're not allowed to have that, like, nationals and stuff on the field. But guess what? You're training at a different field at this point. You're not training on that field. Because you got shit to correct, so you're ready for the next day or that day or whatever it may be.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Carson came with me to nationals. We were training. We got there before nationals. We trained a ton in multiple different places.
Yep.
I used variable levels of reinforcement in all those places. Then when we would do a phase, guess what? Either the same day or the next day, we're training somewhere else.
Yeah.
And we're showing the dog again, variable reinforcement. And it's not a question of, oh, he's wearing this collar or that collar.
Yeah.
The rules are the same.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah.
And preparing the dog properly for trial. And that's something, that some people help me with, but also you have to kind of figure it out a lot on your own.
Yeah.
Just failing. Yeah. Going out there failing, be like, well, this doesn't work.
Yeah.
What the hell do we need to do in order to have some level of success here? But yeah. A lot of people don't like training with me because I'm a very critical person. Do you know that?
Very, very honest too.
Yeah. But you know what people don't realize is, as critical as I am to you, I'll be just as critical to myself.
Oh, yeah.
Which is,
well, I'm kicking myself harder most of the time. That's why I can only take so much of it. It's like, I can't be hearing all that in my own head and then having too much of it coming.
Yeah.
It's just too much because I'm like,
the way I
kicking
look at
myself.
it is like, I could tell you what's good, and I do, but at the end of the day, what are we here for?
yeah.
Oh, we're here to win.
To make it better.
Yeah, we're here to get it right.
Yeah.
And when we show up on trial day, to look good.
Yeah.
And trial should be bragging. The results, what you're doing is a brag.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to brag.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at my dog. Look at me.
Look at my team.
Look at my team.
Yeah.
This is what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a brag.
Yeah.
You're not going to always get it. Shit's going to happen.
Can't be one person doing good out of a team or that's something's off.
No,
Something
right.
is off. Something's not translating.
And you see a lot of that.
Yes, you do.
You see that.
You see the clubs, right? You see the handful of them are good.
There's one or two.
Handful.
There's only
Maybe like
one or
one.
Yeah, okay.
one or two.
Handful.
A one or two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with no finger.
Yeah.
But again, it depends on your definition of good. Some
Yeah.
people, they're just happy to get the title.
But
It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
But again, for us, the goal isn't to show up and
Yeah.
scrape by.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes that's what happens. And with Vasco, scraping by was.
That was a big win.
I'm okay with a 70. That's like gold to me. But any other dog, I'll tell you what, I'll never get a 70 again, or there's a big problem, right? Like
Huge
whatever you're doing and getting a 70 is not good. Yeah. By the way, 70 is just a pass if you get anything less.
Yeah.
So
Well, that means that he didn't come back over the jump.
A lot of things went wrong for him.
He came off the tracking, he came off the tracking, and he's lifting his head, So that those are
For me, anything less than like an 88 is a bad day.
yeah.
Something went really.
oh yeah.
Like
Or a super tough judge that doesn't like your healing. It
that's
doesn't
like who you judge, and I'm just like whatever.
You can't blame it on that, but every judge has different likings on style. Just
Yeah,
like we do.
yeah.
Just like we do. So some people don't like.
Like for instance, in nationals, I was very happy with my obedience. I got 81 points, but I don't think that was a real score in my opinion. Like I think on the world level, I'd be at 88 or something like that, maybe a 90.
Yeah.
So, but I was really happy with like my dog. That's rare. Usually, if you're getting 80 points, a lot of things went wrong. He made tons of mistakes.
And you can judge that because you're watching 22 other dogs at the same time.
Yes.
So it's not like, oh, it's just me out there and one other person. You're like, oh, no. You're watching 22 dogs. You're like, okay, well, I wonder what they got. I'm sure they got, 85, 96. And you're like, what the hell?
And at that national, man, we saw some dogs walking around. The dog's like in a functional heel.
Oh, yeah.
His head's down, its tail's down.
Super nice pet trainer.
85. 85 points obedience. You're like, and made like 3 mistakes. Like didn't, do the set down.
Moving off the field. I don't know.
Oh man, that's how it goes though. That's how it goes. But in those instances, which are rare, thankfully, like you look at it and be like, well, no, I know my dog gave me everything, so I'm not that upset about it.
Yeah.
I was actually happy with my
Yeah, it was
dog.
nice.
I made a few like little handling mistakes.
Sure.
Which is why you should always video yourself. So you can log.
And that's also very hard too, is not helping on trial day.
Oh.
Like, holy shit.
It
Even if you look at your dog, it's multiple points, like if you move your hand weird, multiple points.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
it depends at the level.
yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Club level,
You're gonna get I've seen some stuff at club level. It's like,
IGP1, you're getting by, no problem.
People get a little confused because they'll do a club trial and they'll be like, I got
This is easy.
I got high 90s.
Yeah.
And then they show up to a national or a regional event and they just get
Murder.
I'm
Yeah.
like, what? I thought all this was great. And it's like, no.
Yeah. And I never seen something like that until, I did regionals and then I went to nationals just to watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I'm used to these normal little club trials, right? And I'm like, oh my Lord.
yeah.
Protection was very instructional.
Yes.
You saw like fire protection routines.
a real judge that is strictly just doing protection.
Yeah.
Right. There's a judge for each phase. Which is amazing.
I got 89. I was so happy with my 89 at nationals in protection.
Yeah.
But in a club trial, that's like a 98.
That is
97, 98.
yeah, like holy shit. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah.
But that's the reality of it.
yeah.
That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
That's what I love about the sport, the complexity.
Yeah.
And the kind of dogs that you need.
You never
Yes.
know what you're gonna get. And you gotta go out there and you gotta make sure the nerves are good. And it's just like any sport. Obviously when you're doing a big tournament, even playing hockey or lacrosse, like you're nervous, and it's not just about being nervous because you're in a new place. It's nervous that you don't want to fucking lose.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to
Big pressure.
you want to win. Yeah.
100%. And that was the thing, it's like, and there's people, let's face it, there's people that are rooting for you to lose.
Mm-hmm.
But that's
yeah.
that's a great thing.
Yeah.
That's a great thing. I like knowing that people are out there not wanting me to be successful.
Stoking the fire, baby.
Oh, nobody cared one way or the other.
Yeah.
Why we
Then it's like, yeah,
But if everybody liked each other and everybody got along, it would be fun.
it wouldn't be fun.
we're not with Schützen, so we got obviously there's a lot of strong
You
personality.
need the conflict.
Anybody that likes a dog that would be willing to bite you, that's a person that likes conflict.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of those personalities.
There's a lot of personalities in IGP, and I think it scares a lot of people away. And the people will bitch about it and be like, "Oh, And listen, I'm one of these people that, like, I think new people to the sport that are doing a BH and stuff like that. It's like for sure we should be welcoming to these people.
Yes.
And it's like, hey, how are you? Yes. Like be nice if you've never seen them before. And I'm trying to work on that as well, like doing that more. Not that I see them because we train privately, But like at a trial and stuff, you know, if people like, you know, if I see people I'm friendly with them.
It's a Club of Buffalo right now. It has like 24 members.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Well, if I come to your trial, I'm gonna be friendly AF.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be friendly at you. It'll be right here. I'm gonna be real friendly at Paul's trial with every real.
Well, and I remember, obviously,
I want to film it. So
I started.
we could remember what it's like to see that.
You don't need to see it. I'm only friendly with people that need to.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you this though: once there's a ton of people in this sport that've been in this sport for years, and there's all sorts of drama.
Oh my God,
this and that, and everything
there's
else.
certain clubs I won't go to. I don't need that.
And if you can't handle it, you're in the wrong sport.
Yeah.
You can't handle the heat. Get out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not always going to be like, hey, a kumbaya, we all love each other.
Well, no, but there's some people that are it's so cliquish, you almost have to almost pay dues to homage to a certain person.
No, I don't do that.
No,
And I don't even demand that, like, you guys train with me here. I don't require,
oh no,
like,
no.
you know, I don't have that, like, need that you have to say, oh, Haz is always right and blah, blah, blah.
That's because you're not.
Well, exactly. I'm not. That's reality. I'm not.
I should have said something better. He laid it out there, and I dropped it.
He couldn't wait.
I know.
He couldn't wait.
It was like,
yeah.
oh my God, it's there.
No, he's not. He's not.
Yeah.
No, but there are. Like, if you get in some training groups,
It's brutal.
you better.
Well, and I'm last because I haven't been to other training groups. This is the only place I've ever been.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you're close.
you guys,
Well, you're close too. I mean, I'm like, it takes me a good 2 hours.
2 hours. I'm about 45 minutes. So
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
able
2 hours, so it's like I train on Sundays with you here.
Man, face it, if you live, 6 hours away, you probably still do it, right? Like,
I wouldn't go 12 hours. You'd come on, come on.
yeah,
Just to see you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Because you're so free.
We'll come to you, actually.
Yeah, we're coming to you.
Yeah. So there is people, that do that.
Well, next week I'm going to Baltimore.
People live in the north, man. Like,
I'm going to Baltimore to train with Stefan. That's 5 hours.
Oh, we go and get around.
5 hours is good. Like, you could do that.
could do 5
Once you start hitting past, I would say 8. 8, it'll get rough. I think we went to Tennessee, right?
And that was
18 hours.
a long. That was
Oh, man. They gave us all COVID on the way.
That's right.
And I drove home straight. I drove home straight, and that was 14 hours. Hey, I had fucking COVID, and we're in the middle of this shit field. I'm dying.
It was a beautiful thought.
It was like 90 degrees.
I wasn't bitching.
No, he wasn't. No, say this. He was.
You know what? I was sick, and not as in like, oh, I'm sick. I'm gonna be mopey. It's sick, and I have to do a bunch of shit. We're tracking.
I think when I was up in Quebec, I got COVID because when I came back, I got to stay awake and I got to make it home. That's all I could do. And
it's not hard. Your eyes start burning, and
I skipped the whole day of training. I went there for 4 days, and I trained for 3 of them. The 4th day, I got up in the morning and said, I got to go home.
Carson gave us both COVID on the way back from Tennessee.
yeah.
It was horrific. Like, I was so tired. Not horrific in that, like, the illness was bad. Honestly, I've had colds worse than that. But I was like,
Well, you pussies are sleeping while I'm fucking driving. I'm dying.
we're trying to beat the germs. Like, our immune systems are depressed because you've made us ill.
I raped it.
And by the way, Carson is fully vaccinated. I want that to be known.
Yeah,
and that's probably why he gave us COVID.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Oh shit! You know what? Take that out. That's gonna fucking
You
definitely demonetize.
Yeah, that would.
You know what? Thank God, Carson was vaccinated.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Maybe we wouldn't have.
I got COVID like fucking 3 times, so I don't know what happened there.
How many shots did you have?
2.
That's why you got it.
Yeah.
You'd had.
I should have got like the 3 more. Maybe
Then you would have had a still shot. The more boosters.
We got to delete that whole.
Make sure you guys get
this whole section has to be on.
Make sure you know what this podcast is. What is it? Sponsored by Moderna.
Yeah.
I wish they would sponsor me. I'd be telling people to be vaccinated all the time if they sponsored me. Moderna, hit me up. I am for sale.
Are we putting this? Are we putting this in there?
No, we're gonna cut this whole section down.
I get whatever.
No, you don't want to be demonetized.
No.
I mean, they could demonetize this one.
They could
not gonna make that.
Turn it right off.
I'm not gonna make that much money on it. Nobody cares what you.
No, but they're still they can hide it. They'll hide it completely. They're brutal.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Fuck it. Let's put it up and see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. We'll see if the vaccine.
Worst case, you just get your shots after.
Yeah, that's right. I'd send them.
Worst case, they'll just send you an email. How can you please get your shots? Okay.
Just so you guys know, Carson is vaccinated, and we're very thankful. As is Paul. Paul's vaccinated.
Yeah, I had to get. But I won't do another one.
Yeah.
Ain't no way.
No, you would.
No, I
You
won't.
would.
Because I'm not. If they
Cut
demand
that part out. He will. He'll get vaccinated. And I wish I could have been vaccinated. Maybe on the next round of.
Yeah.
I'll definitely jump in there.
Yeah.
I really wish I had been. But anyways, moving forward.
Yeah.
On to the next talk of dog training.
Yeah.
So it's over, aren't we?
I think we are.
Yeah.
I think we're winding down.
Because I gotta drive home.
Paul's got to
He's
drive
fucking
to
crying.
bring in the U.S.
Yeah, kind of like, oh yeah, God.
Yeah.
I've had enough fun with you.
You know what? So this was his podcast. This podcast we did after training all our dogs.
Yep.
We did tracking, obedience, infection. Carson didn't do tracking because he's a lazy cunt.
Yeah.
And then we had breakfast, and then we sat here.
What happened at breakfast?
I ordered a 6-egg omelet, and I received a 3-egg omelet, which I was told was a 6-egg omelet. However, I had seen what a 6-egg omelet looks like, and it was
going to use memory what it was.
and I was very upset. All right, moving on.
Yeah. You just don't need 6 eggs. All right. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho,
Anyway,
and we came out here. We sat down for however long we sat down for. We trained dogs, but you know what? You guys are going to be seeing these dudes again because for whatever reason, I don't know why. Over the years, it's worked out, and we just keep ending up training together.
we do good training together. We do good training. Period. It's just a fact. I think we do.
At the end of the day, it's just about enjoying it. And if you're not enjoying it, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And I enjoy training with these guys. And
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Of course. They haven't there all the time. Or it's
all the time.
not that fun.
Not when he doesn't get his full omelet.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. That's
All right. That's a wrap.
Later.
All right.